Good morning and welcome to Redeye. We are joined by Lars-Inge Sjöqvist, Gapwaves CEO, to talk a little bit about the Q1 2022 report. Welcome, Lars-Inge.
Thank you very much, Forbes. Nice to see you again.
Likewise. So could you please walk us through the quarter and bring up some of the main highlights in your opinion?
Yeah, what you can see if you compare our first quarter this year with the year before is that we absolutely have an increase in revenue and also in better result, even if it still is minus. But we see a continuous growth in what we are doing. The first quarter this year we have been delivering quite a lot, and we have not been able to invoice everything, so there will be probably a little bit more in the Q2. Absolutely, I know that. So what I can say is that we have also grown. We are 28 full-time employees at the moment, and we were 23 the year before. So it's depending on more and more activities with the customers. Of course, we have to assign more people, and what also could be worth mentioning is that we also made one of the biggest order we have done. We were these tech giant from US order a number of antennas which should be delivered during the spring and the beginning of summer. So it's a 10 million SEK deal we made with them in this case then. And other things happened, the war, etc. Of course, impact us mostly maybe in the heart, but not so much in the business in reality. But really, it's painful to see what is happening on Earth at the moment.
Yeah. And just a quick question about in our latest interview, we talked about the the big order you received from the tech giant, 10 million SEK, but it appears you received a small follow-up order now.
They complemented, so we should also make some more measurement on these antennas, etc., which means we had to do more work for them. So it's all about engineering work as a complement to this big order. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great. So I've noticed that you have received orders for production equipment from Franken and a German company, FWB. What is the purpose of this?
Franken is I would say the supplier which is selected from Hella to produce our first batch or the big volumes for the Hella antenna we now are finalizing. It will start, as I understand, mid 2024, but there of course must be full production up and running 1 year before, and they need our testing equipment. So that's one of the pieces we have produced as a production cell then, which is produced in Gothenburg and delivered now to Franken. On the other hand, Hella is also or Forvia is the new name for Hella. We can start to use that as well, since they are acquired by Forensia in France. But they also want to have a European supplier, and in this case, it's Hella is owning this company FWB, so it's a subsidiary based in Germany. So they will also have a possibility to produce antennas over time. So they have just ordered one of these machines for testing, and they will build up a line in Germany as well. But that's not planned to start 2024 fully, but they will be a little bit later. So these are the two production equipment sold at the moment.
And is there anything you can say about these machines, like in terms of capacity? How many antennas can they test and verify?
Yeah, I will in my next presentation. I think it will be on 2nd of June. show a little bit film of how it works. The capacity in the test equipment is now down to 5 seconds per antenna. That means every 5 seconds we are testing one antenna and confirm it's working or not. So it's in the line, that is the tempo, the cycle time we are expecting to have in the full line, 5 seconds per piece.
Okay.
And this is very important, and it's a quite huge step going from, as we were some years ago, just doing prototyping. And now we are really running the production line in piece of it anyway, not the full line, but we do pieces of it. And one of the most challenging thing is really to make this testing on 77 gigahertz in that speed. I can say that's not so easy to do. And it also needs our competencies, our partner Franken or FWB, both really are happy to see that someone else can help them to do this, because it's a tricky thing to deliver. But now we are there, so I'm happy for that.
Right, great. So you recently made a trip to the United States. Is there anything you can say about which companies you met and what feedback you got?
Yeah, we met a number of companies in Silicon Valley. Some of them are already customers, but before that we were also one stop in Austin in Texas, because we have our customer Under on site there. So we have also meeting with them. All in all, I must conclude quickly to say that everyone are very interested of better radar solution, meaning they are interested to go for imaging radar. The trend is very much using this for what they call robot taxis or autonomous driving systems like trucks, etc. Not so much really for the personal. If you and I will buy our own car, it's not the main focus. They are more into delivering on the what you call commercial equipment, like a taxi or a truck delivering stuff. So in these cases, I must say that it's really interesting to understand their business models. Some of them are very, very clear. Some of them are a little bit more diffuse, I would say, in where they are. But they have the same goal, really, to be starting up in small areas, like, for example, we will can share. We saw from Waymo is a part of a company we also met. They do things in Phoenix, for example, when they drive this robot taxi. It's driverless today, and it's in specific areas they have then the permission to run these cars. So you can use that car as a taxi, and it's working. We have seen that, and I have it on film, etc. Some of our Swedish colleagues were visiting Phoenix and they were testing this, and it's absolutely working. So it's a little bit crazy to sit in the back seat and see that the car is running itself with the wheel is going like this. But anyway, conclude very much what why we were interesting for them. They told us very much that the imaging radar is a key component for this kind of equipment. The LiDAR is also used in many cases, but it's still a very expensive piece. So they are very much looking for a imaging radar solution. And the key problem is the antenna, because very much of the losses in a PCB-based radar, imaging radar, is then solved if you can have a waveguide antenna from us, for example, to really make the antenna solution much more efficient. Then you can have this radar coming very close to what they need for the same thing as they do from the LiDAR. So clearly, my takeaway is that I really confirmed a lot of what I believed before, and now I heard it directly from a number of customers. So very, very useful trip in that sense, and yeah, we are on the right track, so to say, for sure. That's The other takeaway is that, of course, companies are not really, some of them anyway, so much into buying antennas directly, but they want to have a sensor or an imaging radar sensor which is working. But there is no one on the market they can buy, they also say. So they really have to develop them themselves, and then they need to understand how to connect and use a good antenna together with the radar chipsets on the market. So that it was a very, very learning and useful trip. So Marcus, my CTO here at Gapwaves, and myself, we had good days, absolutely, both in Texas and also then in San Francisco Bay Area, as they call it. Yeah.
Perfect. And a final question then. During the quarter, you've received follow-up orders from existing customers like Hella and US auto tech company. So I mean, it appears they like the products and continue to want to work with you. How do you see the company, while your customers entering more commercial agreements with like OEMs during the rest of this year?
Yeah, I have heard that question before, and of course, just to clarify a little bit how it works, we are in cooperation and development work with a number of OEMs, not OEMs, but I mean tier ones, producing these high volume antenna solutions. And we also work directly with a number of these tech companies working more on a specific imaging radar. All in all, it's a 10 different customer engagement. So far, we have signed a full agreement with Hella, as everyone knows. Before that, also with Bioneer, but the other ones currently running, then we do the projects, etc. We use the technology development and do that day by day, and then we at the parallel stage we also have these commercial discussions with these customers to really finalize one of the way we should make the business over time. So it has not stopped at all. It's absolutely ongoing. Maybe it takes a little bit longer. Could depends on a little bit of the problematic world at the moment with the war in Ukraine, etc. But I must say that we have not seen any decrease in any area, so to say. It's really very much going on in full speed, and we will continue to employ more people to fulfill what we have in our, so to say, portfolio of both development, but also with the commercial agreements, which is maybe a little bit tricky, but we need to do that the best way so we can have a good financial situation over time. So bear with me, we are working hardly with these commercial contracts. That is ongoing, yes.
Okay. Well,
and as soon as we have one contract we can talk about, we will of course tell everyone that with a PM or a press release. That's the way we need to do it. If I gave some understanding of when it should happen, it's just difficult to explain afterward if it's not was done that day. But it's ongoing, and it's not only one, it's a number. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's very helpful, and thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you, Forbes. Have a good day.